Morning, friends. It's 11:20 here in California. Today I'm doing something entirely new. I'm broadcasting on a service called Restream for the first time, and I'm doing a simultaneous broadcast to YouTube and Twitter. At least that's what I think is going on. And I've allowed for the comments to be on the screen. I'm not sure if that's happening. Not sure if I'm restreaming either. Instances live, yeah. And just checking some things here. Let me hit a refresh. I should be streaming to Twitter and YouTube. And apparently on Restream, it'll pull in the chat. Seems kind of cool. Oh, my phone is going to overheat. Let me take it out of the case real quick. Hey, Pat. Good to see you. I'm trying something new today called Restream, where I'm streaming on Twitter and going to take a moment. I'm taking my phone out of the case because it's already warm. I'm sorry for the lack of production quality. Here we go. We're out of the case. And it's only 75 here. Well, yesterday, like I predict, let's talk about Trump and why his policies are going to save America. And basically, the high tariffs, which crashed the stock market, including today's numbers, the S&P by 10% and the NASDAQ by about 10%. And I predict that will force the other nations who were putting tariffs on us, like Vietnam of 90%, it'll force them to match us on the tariff. We don't have to go to zero. We could say 10% to you and 10% to us. I think what Trump is doing is establishing the New World Order, where we get rid of tariffs between countries. He's also going to establish an enemy list. The people who don't want to remove their tariff against America are the new enemies of America. They don't want to do business with us. And so, like, I think he proposed 54% to China. If China drops their tariff on our stuff to zero and we can drop ours to zero, then we can have trade again. And if they don't want to get rid of their tariff, then they can bring their factories to America and be tariff free. Yeah, I don't think I'm streaming on Twitter. Anyways, we're giving this a test. Also, I've got overlays. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I mean, it embeds the messages on the video. How do I handle the trolls? That's a little tricky. I'm just checking one more thing at Twitter to see if I'm broadcasting. If not, I'll quit looking at Twitter and this feed will be back. Will be okay. Yeah, I can tell I'm already killing my stream. Yeah, I'm not live streaming at Twitter. Yeah. Huh. I wonder what that's about. I did connect to it. Well, I could be streaming at Twitter and I don't know it. So I'll just pretend it I am, and then I'll look later and see if there's a stream. I slept really good. I slept 10 hours. Went to sleep at midnight, woke up at 10 this morning, feeling fresh. I'm looking at the stock market right now, and how do I? Oh, I want to flip my camera. Doesn't look like I can do this here. Maybe I push on my face. Oh, I was going to show you the low battery message. Hold on. Hi, Evans Creek. Since you're just joining Evans Creek, I'm trying something called Restream for the first time. And I'm streaming to Twitter and to YouTube. Well, darn it. I wanted to flip my camera around. Let me see if I can do this. Little few growing pains today. So my prediction is by Monday, everybody on Trump's chart of nations of what they're charging us for tariffs will be flipped around. Yeah. And what will the free trade do to our economy? I don't know. It would definitely increase whatever products made in America we've been trying to sell overseas. It would allow them to be sold more freely. Either way, it's still going to have a positive effect because the nations that are hurt by our tariffs, they will have to consider making their products in America. I like to flip my camera around, and I'm just learning some new software here. I can say hello to you. Hello. Oh, no. Oh, that's terrible. Wow. Trump is standing on Biden-S. Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit embarrassed that I'm learning as we go here, and I can't read your comments. They're so... Well, I can just read them. There is actually a way to read them. Show. What does show mean? Oh. Show. There we are. Does anybody know on Restream how to turn the camera lens around? Oh, there's a little icon. Mirror camera. I think that's it. Oh. No, that's not what I wanted. Let me turn off Google Finance. It's chewing up some bandwidth. All right. Undo that. Nope. Undo. Overlays back. We got the mirror. I don't want the Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm trying to undo this. Hold on. Shit. I think we're back. Okay. Whoa, that was, man, if I didn't know a little bit of computers, I don't think I could have recovered. Well, okay, I did find, maybe I found the place for the flipping of the camera. Yes, I did. Back camera. So now I can, yes, okay. Well, Restream, I'm kind of pleased with this for, I guess for two reasons. One, I can obviously stream to multiple locations, assuming that's going on. And second, the comments from YouTube or the multiple destinations, the comments come into one thing right here below. And then they're embedded in the video. That's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so small. It's like this big. Like, I don't really like, I guess this would be a lot better on a laptop, which I have. I have a laptop right here. And I would be able to use my keyboard. So maybe I'll try that later, not today. And that would be good because the internet connection coming from my phone won't be, the phone has to do video and transmission right now. So it's doing a lot of CPU cycles, which will lead to overheating. Where if I just isolate it to the laptop, then that's separate. So probably better performance from the laptop. Uh-huh. Let me just go to politically incorrect and see what the big news of the morning is. I might be going to synagogue tonight. I was researching Shabbat. I was researching the different synagogues I can attend here in the Palm Springs area. Trump standing on business. All right. Let me go to reply count here. A summary of my Trump is going to save America. The summary is maybe Trump has thought this through and he's got a plan that he didn't share with us. Trump doesn't seem to be clear with his motivations sometimes or his actions. And I guess that's like playing poker. I try to do the opposite. Like, I try to tell you why people will do things. Yes, I don't know if you saw my broadcast the other day on the Lily Show. I laid out why, my idea to be ambassador of Iran and how I could build a new territory for the Palestinian people with the approval of Iran, and America would purchase the land. And I also suggested, I gave logical reasons why Israel and America, I gave logical reasons why the greater Israel would benefit the region. And I tied it all together how America purchasing Iran's oil for the next 10 years at current market rates, giving them a lump sum of money now, not over time, buying 10 years of their oil for $520 billion, giving them that money now, which would allow the Iranian government to invest that money in the global stock market, and that would allow their money to grow. Then America would help them build a pipeline from Iran to China so they could sell their oil quickly to China and also the neighboring countries it goes through, giving them a small discount. America could finance all that infrastructure for them, and then Iran, with this big pile of money, could invest in their own infrastructure, whatever they need: more hospitals, more housing, more water, better roads, parks, all that stuff. Low power mode. Oh shit, what's going on here? My power's plugged in. Literally, my thing is not charging right now. Hold on a sec. I'm really sorry for all these technical problems. Now it's charging. Huh. One of my Chinese power adapter things is maybe gone kaputs. Whatever, problem solved. I really want to thank Jessica for putting together that meeting with Lily. It was all her work. I didn't even know Lily existed. Yeah, so good job, Jessica. I'm really proud of you. You're such a great partner on politics. We're doing this together. Oh. Boy, the markets are really crashing. But that's what they do. They take information and they have to react upon it. And they have to assume that when Trump said these tariffs are going to be here forever, I guess they don't try to predict the future, that these other nations will say, we'll negotiate with America. They've got to be cautious for everything. Okay, I'm at politically incorrect, and I'm reading something on tariff. A tax imposed by one country on goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenue, or to protect competitive advantages. All right. That's a nice description. Ooh, China announces an extra 34% tariff on all goods from the United States. Well, now we're in a trade war with China. That's a tariff. They're pushing back on us. Well, yeah, everything from TEMU is going to go up. Well, we're putting a 54% tax on TEMU stuff and Alibaba. The e-bike business just got killed. Well, maybe they should be making those e-bikes here in America. Happening now is the chance to destroy America. Oh, grow balls, Europe. Restrict exports to the USA. Restrict ASML products to the US to tank their tech sector. Now with China, attack their consumer market by restricting exports. Wow. Yeah, I guess they could. I guess they could do that. Unusual Wells says U.S. stock market has lost 9.6 trillion value since Trump was inaugurated. Yeah. Oh, okay. So U.S. stock market. How much is the value of the U.S. stock market? I'd like to know that. Like, collectively, how much have we lost? Like, how big? Well, let's ask Grok. That's a great question to ask Grok. How many trillion is the U.S.? I'm going to guess it's worth 400 trillion. Put your guesses in the comments below. Oh, I'm probably going to get, I want to get my back x-rayed today. If I go to town, I got to get my back x-rayed. Oh, it does say I'm live. Good. That means I'll be picking up a few people from X. How many trillion is U.S. stock market worth? Question mark. And let's watch this together. All right, so here we go again. Back camera. All right, 3, 2, 1. Well, look at that. $62 trillion. Boy, was I off. I said 400 trillion. I was wrong. Wow. So if Trump has lost 10 trillion, 10 divided into 60, what percentage is that? 6 and 2, 10. 10 divided by 60. Well, it obviously goes in 6 times. What is 10%? What is 10? I can't do this. Can somebody do the math for me? What percentage that is? Let me just do 60 divided by 10. That should be 6%. No. 6%? No, that's not right. Because it's more than that. All clear. 10 divided by, I'm gonna say 20. God, why am I sucking at this right now? Oops, clear. 16%. Okay. So Trump has wiped out Trump has wiped out 16% of the stock market. Woo, that's a crash. Fuck. You know, Trump went bank. How many times has Trump gone bankrupt? I don't want to roast Trump on this too much, but I think the answer is like 4 times, and now he's blown through $10 trillion because of his behavior. The Democrats are going to eat that up. I'll give Trump positive when I see it, and if I'm going to be critical of Trump. I'm still well, I want to be fair. I just want to be fair about Trump, and if he did something good, I want to acknowledge it, and if he did something bad, I want to acknowledge it. I would, having a hamburger with Trump someday, oh, that'd be great. I'd love to tell him about anti-gravity, unlimited electricity. He probably doesn't know about these things. He probably doesn't know that Stargates probably do exist on a top secret level. And I'd like to explain to him the ramifications of this exotic technology if we could just unlock it. Oh. Here's a waitress in some place, and she's got a pistol on her hip. Let me show it to you. Right here. She got a pistol right there on her waist. Trump has wiped out $10 trillion. Wow. Nintendo cancels Switch 2 release date. Oh, the kids are going to be furious. Well, what I love about these tariffs and stuff is the black market. Somebody's going to start, importing these illegally. Nuclear happening. France CEO shares polls theory about what Trump's economic plan right now. Expect influence of and very influential. All right, let's see what this is. Let's see what they wrote. Oops, slowly coming organized here. Trump is trying to crash the stock market at least 20%, causing a flight into treasuries. This will cause the Fed. Let me get all this on screen for you so you can read with me. Okay. Trump is trying to crash the stock market at least 20%, causing a flight into treasuries. This will cause the Fed to slash interest rates so he can refinance the debt near zero and cause a deflationary spiral, which will lower the cost of everything. He also intends to use tariffs as an incentive for companies to build in the U.S. to avoid having to pay them. The tariffs and the resulting global trade war will also force American farmers to sell more of their goods in the USA due to the retaliatory trade measures by other countries, which will directly lower the price of groceries in the USA. More than 94% of all stock is owned by just 8% of the U.S. population. Trump is literally taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor. This is why Trump is playing a game of hokey pokey with tariffs. One day he has 25% tariff on Mexico and the next he doesn't. This is to cause extreme volatility in the market and a desperate need on demand to flee towards treasury bonds, which are much more stable but offer much lower potential returns. This is also why I like that analysis, and that was written well, I don't know how old this was. I might have read that before. Huh. Even though it's charging, I got a low power mode. It must be overheating. Maybe put the fan on it. Uh-oh. I think it's freezing a little bit. Let's see. And my laptop's freezing. Oh, well, why is that? Not even hot in here yet. It's only 77. Close that browser. Oh, now I know why. All right, we got the browsers back. They're not frozen. Well, we got a little momentum here going. I was kind of struggling there for a while. American Toaster. It says people are buying private tents for their friends and family and to keep their belongings somewhat safe. Carmelo Anthony was going around looting the tents and got caught. Why is it a group of people just thinks they can just steal from everybody constantly? It says, kiss your product you can kiss goodbye. Lowensen. Looks like mustard. Extra hot mustard. It is mustard. Okay. What? Gate. Mask of Void. The 1980s and 90s, school districts across the country rolled out a program called GATE, Gifted and Talented Education. And it looks like they're serving 1-ounce drinks. They're probably getting the kids drunk or on drugs or something. This is weird. Let's, I think this is the MK Ultra story. So listen, look at here. They got a dispenser. That's got to be some medication. That is totally suspicious. I bet you they never asked parents for permission to get that out. Let's read this. I think all these kids went to work in the CIA or something. In the 80s and 90s, school districts across the country rolled out a program called GATE, Gifted and Talented Education. It was marketed to parents as an elite opportunity, a chance for their bright, precious children to shine. But if you were one of those kids, you might not remember much. Maybe flashes, cards with cryptic shapes, headphones piping in low droning tones that buzzed inside your skull. They said it was testing a way to measure aptitude. They were looking for something specific. And if you were one of the chosen, they handed you a cup of pink liquid syrup and faintly metallic. After that, your memories of GATE dissolved into a haze. The name of GATE was a lie, or at least a mask. Beneath the acronym was something else, a program with a purpose parents were never meant to understand. The tests were all about intelligence. They were screening for candidates, children with the right physiology, the right resilience. If you passed, the pink drink was just the beginning. That's when they implanted a device, a tiny cold thing slipped under your skin while your mind swam in the chemical fog. You wouldn't have felt it. You wouldn't have known. Fast forward to adulthood. If you were in GATE and you now sleep with the CPAP machine strapped to your face, listen closely. Most CPAPs are benign humming boxes that push air into snoring throats prescribed for profit or convenience. But yours is different. It's special. They tell you it's for sleep apnea, that it'll leave you refreshed. They get agitated if you skip a night, insist you keep it on. That's because it's not just breathing for you, it's controlling you. In the dead of night, when your house is silent and your body sinks into oblivion, the machine shifts. It's subtle. The oxygen flow spikes, flooding your lungs while the exhale vent tightens. Carbon dioxide builds up, slowing your heart to a crawl, 10 beats a minute, maybe less. They're precise about it. Threading the needle between life and death. Your chest barely rises. The machines wind down out of stillness. No one in the room would notice you're a whisper away from faint flatlining. That's when it happens. Your consciousness tears free out of the body, drift, a projection. The device they planted in you hums to life, a conduit linking your into their screens. They can see what you see: distant rooms, hidden bunkers, the flickering edge of war zones. You're their phantom spy, a tool honed over decades of trial and error. They've gotten good at this, pushing you to the brink without letting you tip over most of the time. You wake up with fragments, dreams that dissolve like smoke, jagged images that don't fit together, a concrete wall, a voice in a language you don't speak, blood on tile. It's gone by time. It's gone by the time you sip your coffee. You feel heavy, like your bones are lined with lead. They promise you'd feel refreshed, but you don't. You feel like a corpse dragging back to life. The toll is silent, but relentless. Your heart shudders more each year. Your arteries harden. A stroke looms on the horizon. The projected don't live long, 50 or 50, maybe 55, if you're lucky. To them, it doesn't matter. You're not a person. You're an asset, disposable and deniable. No one's a hero. You're a ghost in the machine. If you were in gait but never got a CPAP, even after the pink drink, something went wrong. Maybe your body rejected the implant. Maybe you failed a later test. They cut you loose, left you to live oblivious. But if you've got the machine in your bed humming right now at night, ask yourself, why did you feel so hollow? Why do the people who gave it to you care so much that you use it? Of course, could all be fiction, a paranoid fantasy. After all, you've seen the president with the CPAP marks on his face, a red creased broadcast on the morning news. Is it safe for him? Is it safe for you? Right? Nothing to worry about. Just keep the mask on. They're counting on it. The pink stuff they give you at school, you weren't supposed to drink it, though. It was a fluoride mouthwash. At least that's what they said. Wow. A lot of fear mongering there. Let's go back to other news. All right, we got 17 people here. For the daytime, normally it'd be half that amount. So I must be picking up some folks from Twitter. It says the only pink thing they tried to hand you at school was the music teacher's penis. It's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. What's the point when you're a childless man? I work with men in their 40s and 50s that don't have children. These men are average looking, normally dressed. What's the point? Well, I'm a childless man. The point is to enjoy your life. I thought I was going to have children later in life. Maybe I still could. I just didn't know how to afford children. And I didn't want to be stuck with child support payments. Somebody says my 401k is down 50,000 over the last 2 days. Zero Head says 100,000% retaliatory tariff incoming. Trump says China played it wrong. They panicked, cannot afford to do. Just in, European Union prepares to fine Musk $1 billion. If the EU does this, we leave NATO. And then the comment is, if Europeans are smart, why do they use the American social media? Fun Farm Films. I can't break out of my neat lifestyle. Do you have any advice for me? Well, I really think that it's I think a lot of people should try to be in the self-employed business, because then you're your own boss. If you like cars, I might encourage you to try flipping cars. Find out what is, okay, so this is advice I heard on from somebody else, but I agree with it. I think it makes sense. Use artificial intelligence and find the top 3 most sold used cars in America. And it might be the Toyota Corolla. So, and it'll tell you what year. So then find some Toyota Corollas for sale. And let's say they want $6,000. Let's say they're all $6,000. Well, email the people and say, I want to buy your Toyota Corolla today for $3,000 cash. I can pick it up in an hour. Somebody will take you up on this offer. So now you just bought the car at half market value. Then you put the car for sale at $6,000 and sell it like everybody else. Just turn your hobby into your career. Now, if your hobby is video games, why aren't you making money with Twitch and streaming it? Yeah. You could go to thrift stores and buy clothing, like name brand clothing, like Adidas or whatever is a recognized brand, and then resell it on eBay for more money. Surprisingly, people want to buy like sports clothing, Nike, Adidas, whatever, Puma, tracksuits. Old stuff still sells for money because you can't buy it anymore. And listen, if you're buying a tracksuit on eBay, vintage, you got money to waste. Every stock market crash has occurred under a Republican. Well, whatever. British PM criticized for blocking bill banning first cousin marriage amid mounting health concerns. Yeah, it's the DNA gets all. Well, the children will have more problems, apparently. This is kind of interesting. I mean, it's hard truths, but it says here, this guy here, there is literally no point to life as a male sub-8. You are just a good goy, cannon fodder, and a pay pig for both the state and women who see you as a walking wallet who needs to learn. Yeah, if you're not a Chad, you'll be used and abused. And why is it this way? Well, women want to have beautiful babies. That guarantees that when those babies grow up to be Chads, that the DNA is propagated. So it's just survival of the fittest. But obviously, mutts are having children. Tesla first quarter delivery miss means nothing. Stock remains a strong buy. It's I voted for cheaper prices. What the fuck? Let's see what this is. My sister on Fent, she Wilden. I have a part-time job, but it just isn't enough to pay my bill right now. Well, you could start a lawn mowing service. That's kind of like a business that will easy to get started. If you have a car, you don't need a truck. You just need a car. You can put the lawnmower in the truck, and then just do a mow and blow, and just start knocking on doors. There's guys with YouTube channels. They mow the lawn for free, and then they video them mowing the lawn, and they make money from the viewers of them watching them mow the lawn. So it's like a good deed service, and then people watch it because they're like, "Oh, a good deed. How nice." I was thinking about going to synagogue tonight, and I noticed that my synagogue that I was thinking of going to doesn't live stream their sermon. And to my shock, the synagogue I want to go to, they're like, if you want to become a member of this synagogue, fill out this form. And for a single guy, they want $1,900 a year to be a member. And I think I did the math, and it was like $160 a month. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that money. But it's probably just because like on Friday they have a dinner, a seder at the synagogue. I'm like, well, that makes sense. They got to pay for it somehow. So then I was starting to think, well, what could I trade them? And then it occurred to me, well, since they don't have a live broadcast of their sermon, they should offer it. So, Fun Farm Films, you must be somewhat technical. I'm broadcasting right now to you from my iPhone. And you could just get a tripod and an iPhone and live broadcast for a church or a synagogue or any other company. So you could charge for that. You could charge $200 per broadcast, whatever makes sense for you. Yeah, I do wear one of those funny hats. Ugh. Here's my funny hat. It's super gorgeous. Got my name inside here. I'm a converted Jew. Real Jews don't see me as a Jew, and Christians see me as a traitor. I'm in political limbo, but it's just my relationship with God. I just watched a remote viewing last night on Sodom and Gomorrah, and a triangle UFO came and was mad at them, and it was shooting laser beams from the sky and fucking up the town of Sodom and Gomorrah. And it came to the town for one specific person, and it took that specific person with them, then brought destruction upon Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm like, whoa, like that probably happened. But a triangle UFO, it looked like the arrowhead from Star Wars, like the Darth Vader's group of people, the whatever they were called. They had an arrow-shaped spacecraft. Do people still remember Waco? Well, if you don't know about Waco, the FBI intentionally burned down a building with 40 kids in it. So 40 children burned to death. Total overreach. Great work by officers for having the sweet smell of success to identify two males acting suspiciously. The males were stopped and had bags filled to the brim with confectionery candy that were obviously not bought for consumption by themselves. Approximately $367 seized. Single women own millions more homes than single men in the U.S., and the gap is only growing. Well, that if that's true, and I think it is true, become a handyman. Fun Farm Films. If you want to learn what handyman services look like, just go on Craigslist under services, and you will see plumbers, handymen, painters, paint homes. You know, have you ever painted a room? So it's easy, and it's tedious. And if you don't do it right, you could make a big fucking mess. And that's why people want to hire a painter. So my best advice is start with a roller and get a lot of tarps from Harbor Freight. A 12-foot by 9-foot tarp costs $20, I think. You might need like 4 of them for a room, and get some masking tape and paper, and you masking tape the windows. 90% of a good painting job is in the masking. Take off the little outlets, put tape over the thing where you plug in, and then take off doorknobs. You know, if the hinges have already been painted over, then don't worry about it. But if they haven't, masking tape off, but masking tape the hinges. That little bling thing at the bottom, unscrew that or put tape on it. You got to be careful by carpet. You want to like it's a piece of mail. Like if this was the carpet edge, you put it there, and then you paint here, and then you lift it away, and then you wipe it to paint, then put it on the carpet on the next one. After you striped it with paint, a little will run down, and then you'll put paint on the carpet. So you wipe it every time, and you can get $100 or $200 per room plus material. And I would say have them buy the paint. You just show up with the roller, or have them buy you can buy a bunch of rollers and paint brushes and have them new, and then just say, well, I would say have them buy paint brushes and rollers for you. Or you go to Home Depot together. And in California, if you do work under $700, you don't need a license. So if you focus on just, I'll paint your hallway, I'll paint the bedroom, you can stay within the law. Nobody's really going to know if you paint a whole house. If you want to take it up a notch, get an airless sprayer. Psst, psst, psst. And it pushes the paint through the system at 4,000 PSI, and it does a great job. It requires a high level of cleanliness. Yeah, and then you got to really clean the beans out of it when you're done with a garden hose. And because if you don't clean it, then you just jammed it and it won't work again. So as long as you're meticulous, you'll do good. And that also comes down to masking, because you're going to be able to paint a bedroom in 25 minutes versus 6 hours. Plus you can paint the ceiling so fast. I painted my old landlord's double wide 2-bedroom home. It took me quite a long time, actually. Because of my back, I could only work like 4 hours a day. But it took me like a month, maybe longer, maybe 2 months. But he wanted different colors and stuff. He made it really difficult. And there was a lot of prep. It was a really difficult job. I'm not into physical stuff. Well, maybe live streaming is the business for you. I would go on Politically Incorrect and ask people what you can do for money, as a person who doesn't want to do physical things. Maybe become a music creator, make some beats. But, using the mouse, that becomes physical, Like if you really don't want to work, there's probably nothing for you, If you're calling, I don't know. I don't know what's. If you don't want to work, you should just join the military. Pushing 350 pounds. Well, I think you should start a dog walking service because you need to start exercising. So walking people's dogs, like the dog is walking you, and then you'd be losing weight. It's scary to start your own business. It's scary because there's no guarantee. I would say that once you get your first customer, you're going to feel like a hero. And then you get your second customer. And before you know it, you'll have more business you can imagine. And then you're going to be happy. All that money is going to make you happy. You could join the FBI. You could join the CIA. You could join the NSA. You could join the Border Patrol, Border Guards. Don't use your weight as an excuse. They might make you a keyboard warrior, and they might hire you because you're fat, because they're like, this guy he won't be able to go and get a job anywhere else. He's stuck here. His fat ass is stuck in that chair doing the job all day long. Would you support war with Iran? Absolutely not. Something I'm reading here. We're coming up to the hour. Nearly done. Crypto's down. Stocks are down. Home prices are down. Interest rates are down. Let's see what RSR is doing. It was 0.006 yesterday. I bet you it's 0.005. Oh, it went up. Went up 10%. Doesn't make any sense. That's what I hate about crypto. All right, kill that browser. 18 viewers. That's pretty good. I'm really pleased with this. It says, Kaylee, are you in a cult? Let's turn this around. Here she is here, and it says, remember when the Hunter Biden laptop was misinformation and all those voices of the same ones telling you this would be a disaster? That doesn't mean this is all going to work out, but I'm willing to bet against these voices. I just ordered a Jerusalem cross ring on Amazon. All right, what's a Jerusalem cross ring? Leroy. Oh, my light just fell. Shut up, Leroy. Oh. All right, Leroy, you just got blocked. Import third world becomes third world. Well, people don't understand what third world means, and I'll say it to you right now. So basically, first world are nations aligned with the United States. Second world are nations aligned with Russia. And third world countries are nations that don't have any alliance. That's the definition of first, second, and third world nations. And a third world nation is a nation that is so undesirable, America or Russia didn't want their resources. Trump brags about resetting the economy. Somebody says, I'm at a point where I'd vote for a Dem to impeach Trump. Nah. Is anybody here losing money in the stock market? Oh, here's a top secret thing. Oh, yeah. Hitler was alive post World War II. Ted Cruz. Turncoat Ted. Ted Cruz speaks against Donald Trump's tariffs. Also note that tariffs are not broken down by country. They're broken down by top-level internet domains. It's why islands that are populated entirely by penguins, .hm domain, and why Diego Garcia military base on BIOT is .io are listed. Also why reunion.re and Gibraltar.gi are listed separately from France and the UK. To generate this list and didn't catch the mistake because they are dumb as rocks. Here's an old Trump tweet. Stock markets are crashing. Job numbers are terrible. We're heading to World War III, and we have two of the worst incompetent leaders in history. This is not good. Okay, Iran Observer. It's got a picture of Trump and Zing on it. China buys record amount of Iranian oil despite Trump's warning. Iran exports 1.9 million barrels of oil per day to China in March. Look at this. Car colors. Yeah, we had a lot more vibrant cars. Car colors. Look at that. That's so true. And today's cars are grays. There's just not many vibrant colors. Millennials and Zoomers will complain about how soulless and colorless things are, such as fast food restaurants, and now compared to the 90s, while almost all of them willingly choose to drive a vehicle that's white, gray, or black. Fun Farms, I started to say, was born in 1944, and she really got into it, like saying some real racist stuff freaked me out. Well, I would advise against being saying racist things, because what's going to happen is you'll accidentally slip and say something at the wrong moment, and you could end up dead. Some people they don't take it the right way, and they'll kill you over it. Multiple cars set on fire at Disneyland parking garage. Donald Trump poses biggest danger to the world in 2024. Well, I'm going to call this quits here. We put in an hour. Thanks everybody for being here. Let me turn that done. Thanks everybody for being here. And Pat Paulson, it's kind of hard to read people's names, but you're embedded in the chat, and I'm going to go look and see how that stream turned out. All right, that's the end of my stream for today, and I'll probably